In my previous video series 99, we discussed one of the means of monitoring conduct of accounts. While this video series 100, let us discuss other means of monitoring. We have learned that there are four means of monitoring. They are conduct of the accounts, obtention and verification of the statements and reports, conducting inspections, and learning the industry scenario from the market reports. Now let us go to the statements and reports. The banks collect the following statements and reports from the borrowers: stock statement, book debt statement, monthly select operational data, quarterly information system reports or financial follow-up reports, half-yearly operating statement, half-yearly funds flow statement, quarterly financial statements in case of companies whose shares are listed in the stock exchanges, and annual financial statements. Let us first understand the stock statement and book debt statement. The banks do collect the stock statement and book debt statements from the customers to whom credit facilities are provided against stocks or book debts, and arrive at the drawing power once in a month. Any delay in submission of stock or book debt statement is a sign of falling stock or book debts level. On receipt of statements, it should be verified for unusual levels of a particular item or repeat of the same item month after month. Unusual fluctuation in any of stock or any book debts require further probing. The stock statement, the format varies from bank to bank, but for the purpose of understanding, I am showing one stock statement or inventory statement. There will be from whom the stock statement is received, or the bank to whom or the branch to whom it is submitted will be mentioned. Then the description of goods will be there, their location, whether it is at a warehouse or it is in the factory, that will be mentioned. Then the opening balance will be there, purchases, items sold and closing balance, and the rate per unit and the value, and the total value will be there together with a certification which will generally state like this: we hereby declare and certify that the goods, the details of which are mentioned above, are held with us and are hypothecated to you as on this date. So date, month, year will be mentioned. Authorized signatory, he will sign by affixing the seal of the borrowing firm, signature and date will be mentioned. When it comes to a statement of book debts, because there are some banks, instead of giving a bill finance, they do grant finance against book debts. Book debt is nothing but a list of trade debtors to whom the company had sold the goods and the amount remains outstanding. Against the outstanding amount receivable, the banks lend money. Here the name of the account, address to whom, the name of the bank, the branch, and address or contact office of the borrower, then contact person. Then they will mention, we give below the particulars of book debts charged to you as on a particular month. There the name of the party will be there, the invoice number will be there, invoice date, amount, and by 5th of every month they will submit the book debts as on the last day of the previous month, the bank will calculate the advance value by deducting the stipulated margin from the total value of the book debts and compare that with the sanction limit, and the sanction limit or the advance value, whichever is less, will be the drawing power for the next month. This is how a book debt statement format looks like, though it varies from bank to bank. Next, let us understand what is meant by MSOD, that is monthly select operational data. In cases of micro and small enterprises, the banks collect what is called as a monthly select operational data. But in case of large advances, which are medium industries or large advances, instead of MSOD, the banks collect quarterly information system report, which is also known as financial follow-up reports in some banks. So let us first understand what is meant by monthly select operational data. What does it contain? It has got three, A, B, C, D, E, F. It has got 5 parts, rather say 6 parts. The first one is estimates for the current accounting year indicated in the annual plan. The industry would have given an information as to what could be the annual plan of the current year. That is, what is the gross sales, what is the net sales, of which how much is the exports, how much will be the production in quantity. Then in B, they would have provided the actual sales during the month of which exports, cumulative during the year up to the end of the month of which exports. That is, for that particular month, they will indicate the actual sales. Within the sales, how much is the export sales, and then cumulative, that is starting from the month of April till the reporting month, what is the cumulative actual sales and the cumulative export sales. Then C is actual production, again during the month, how much was the production, and the cumulative during the year up to the end of the month. Say for example, the firm is submitting the statement as on June. So the first information will be the during the month of June, what was the actual production. Then the cumulative means starting from April, that is the production in April, production in May, production in June will be the cumulative information. Then D shows receivables including bills purchased, discounted, negotiated, outstanding at the end of the month. A, bills purchased, discounted, negotiated by the bank and other outstanding book debts. Then the total of A plus B will be given. That is where there is a bill financing. The other than the bill financing, suppose the bills are not routed through the bank, still there are some trade receivables outstanding that will be reported as other outstanding book debts. And the section E will be talking about the sundry creditors for purchases outstanding as at the end of the month. That means what are the purchases which the business has made for which payment is yet to be made. Then the last one is the short-term borrowing from banks, which includes the bill finance also, name of the bank and the balance outstanding. So this is how the monthly select operational data, which is the simplified format, looks like. Then the MSOD also continues with the stock position, that is the raw material and stores, whether it is imported, what is indigenous, what is the total, then stock in process, finished goods, consumable spares. It will have the opening balance, stocks in during the month, stocks out during the month, closing stock on last day charged to the bank, closing stock on last day charged to other banks if it is under consortium or multiple banking, then total closing stock. This information will also be a part of the monthly select operational data. So as a banker, I understand what is the value of the raw materials, the stores, the stock in process, the finished goods, consumable pairs and the trade debtors outstanding which are charged to me, and also what is the trade creditors outstanding. Now let us look at what is meant by the quarterly information system reports. This is generally collected in cases of advances above 1 crore, and the type of the industry will be medium or large advances. The QAS returns form 1 is to be submitted before the commencement of the tender and contains the projections. There are two forms, QAS 1 and QAS 2. QAS 1 is the estimate for the next quarter, and the QAS 2 is actuals of the previous quarter. Now the QAS 1 is estimate. It talks about the current assets and the current liabilities estimate, and it is to be submitted 1 week before the beginning of the quarter. That is prior to the commencement of the quarter, 1 week, the QAS, what will be the estimated current assets and current liabilities position of the business entity. And QAS 2 is the actuals. It contains two columns. One is the estimate that was given in QAS 1 and the actuals, and which is to be submitted within 6 weeks from the close of the quarter. So the bank can compare the QAS 1 figure with the QAS 2, what the company had estimated or projected the current assets and current liabilities, as against that what was the actual position of the current assets and current liabilities. And if there is a variation between plus or minus 10%, the bank is expected to write a letter and get the necessary clarification from the borrower entity. Now if you look at the quarterly information system format, one looks like this, which I have already said that to be submitted 1 week before the commencement of the quarter. Name of the borrower will be there. There are A, B, C. A indicates the annual plan, production, gross sales, domestic sales, export sales, net sales. And B talks about the estimates for the ensuing quarter. That is, out of the annual plan, how much is the estimate to be achieved in the next quarter. Again, production, gross sales, domestic sales, export sales and net sales. And C, estimates of current assets and current liabilities for the ensuing quarter ending. The current assets talks about everything: inventory, raw material, stores and spares, how much is the imported, how many months of consumption, indigenous, how many months of consumption, stock in process, how many months of stock, cost of production, and the finished goods, how many months of cost of sales, any spares based on consumption, receivables, how many months of sales, export receivables, how many months of export sales, any advances to be paid, other current assets, and total current assets, estimates for the next quarter. Similarly, the current liabilities, what is the expected short-term borrowing, how much is the money that is likely to be withdrawn from the working capital finance facilities, and what about the creditors for purchase and stores, raw materials, and under LC or co-acceptance, imported, how many months of purchases, indigenous, how many months of purchases, advance payment from customers receivable, any statutory liabilities estimated, any other current liabilities specify the major item, then total estimated current liabilities, then contingent liabilities, arrears of dividend, disputed excise, customs and tax liabilities, other liabilities for which no provision is made. So this is how the QIS 1, that is the estimated current assets and current liabilities, look like, and there will be the signature of the authorized person. Now we need to come to the quarterly information system form 2, which I said need to be submitted within 6 months from the close of the quarter. The A part consists of estimates for the current accounting year indicated in the annual plan. That is the production, gross sales, domestic sales, export sales, net sales. And B shows the actual production sales, that is during the quarter, production during the quarter, sales, cumulative during the quarter production, cumulative for the year sales. First quarter ended, second quarter ended, third quarter ended, and fourth quarter ended. And C is data relating to the latest completed quarter. That is again gross sales, domestic sales, exports, net sales. There, what was the estimate that is given in form number 1 and what was the actuals? If there is a variation beyond plus or minus 10%, the banks are supposed to seek the necessary clarification from the borrower company. So QAS 1 is the estimates for the next quarter. QAS 2 is actuals of the previous quarter. Now the D part of it is the current assets and current liabilities. What was estimated, what was actuals. These need to be compared. Similarly, the current liabilities, there are estimates, there are actuals. If there is a variation beyond plus or minus 10%, the banks are supposed to question it. Now let us understand the next statement, which is nothing but a half-yearly operating statement, half-yearly funds flow statement. And these are to be submitted within 2 months from the close of the half year. The statements giving details of sales, cost and profit generated during the half year and also the inflow of funds into the business and its usage. The half yearly operating and fund flow statement need to be submitted within 2 months from the close of the half year. Now let us understand what are the half yearly operating statement. It contains five columns. One is last year actuals, current year budget, last half year ended estimate, last half year ended actual, current half year estimate. The particulars which are included there are gross sales, net sales, variable cost, cost of production, cost of sales, total cost of operation, finance cost, non-operating income, non-operating expenses, profit before tax and profit after tax. That is, it is nothing but an operating statement prepared on a half-yearly basis. It is divided into 2 halves, that's all. Then when it comes to the half-yearly funds flow statement, same, the contents are long-term sources of fund, short-term sources of fund, long-term uses of fund, short-term uses of fund. And they have to furnish the breakup into 5 columns: last year actuals, current year budget, last half year ended estimate, last half year ended actual, and current half year estimates. This enables the bank to compare 1. the current assets and current liabilities by way of QAS 1 and 2, and half-yearly operating statement with actuals and half-yearly, and compare it to the last year's of the actuals, and also similarly the funds flow statements in the same manner as that of the operating statement. Now, the annual financial statements. After the close of the year, the customer is required to submit the audited financial statements. Bank should analyze the financial statements in detail for the purpose of justifying the existing credit limits, to consider any enhancement or reduction, and also in review or renew of the existing credit facilities. The analysis of financial statements helps the bank in ascertaining the strengths and weaknesses in a business. And the financial statement consists of the balance sheet as on the last day of the financial year, profit and loss account for the period ending the financial year, and the cash flow statement for the financial year. Now, based on the annual financial statements, banks have to scrutinize the CMA forms, which consist of 1. the data on credit facilities enjoyed from the banking system by the borrower company, the operating statement, the balance sheet spread, the comparison of current assets and current liabilities, NPBF computation, and the funds flow statement. Now, factory inspection. Factory inspections have to be carried out either by relationship officers, internal auditors, external auditors doing stock audit, and statutory auditors. When they do it, They are expected to verify the quantity and value of stock physically and from records, whether the customer maintains record with regard to stock, transit or those with the warehouse, delivery challenge, etc., purchase register, creditors accounts to verify whether the creditors are paid regularly, sales register to assess the growth in sales, sales return register, production records and excise register, sales tax, GST register, copies of returns filed, debtors accounts to ensure and verify that the age of book debts and effectiveness in receivables management, fixed assets register to find out whether any asset charged to the bank are sold off or any additions are made. If new additions are made, the source of fund and the purposes for which they are acquired. Verify whether all machinery or equipments are in good condition and are functioning well. Then bank also do monitoring by collecting information on the borrower unit or the borrower or the business. The sources of information would be banks, other customers who are known to the borrower company or the borrower promoters, the suppliers who supply materials to the business, the buyers who buy the goods from the business, competitors who are engaged in same or similar activity, neighbors could be a neighboring unit or neighbors who are staying next to the promoters. Banks normally collect the list of major suppliers and the list of major buyers and the list of competitors at the time of credit appraisal. Now the market reports, these are the sources from where we will be able to collect some data on the type of industry or the way in which the industry is moving. Publications of relevant industry associations carry important data on production, sale and other related information. Issues made by Indian Sugar Mills Association, Confederation of Indian Industries, etc. Monthly bulletin published by RBI carry important information on industry data. Industry studies are carried out by financial newspapers like Economic Times, Financial Express, Business Lines, etc. Monthly bulletin on Indian economy published by Center for Monitoring Indian Economy Private Limited and Press Trust of India. CMI have developed an electronic database called PROVAS. This gives financial information on 15,000 or more companies. Similar database is maintained by Capital Online or ACE Equity by Account Fintech, etc. News comments in public media, reports of investment analysts on the company or on the industry, industry studies conducted by risk management departments. The banks, the credit appraisal departments can access this information to know about the industry which are being financed by the banks. So by this video series 100, we have learned the importance of monitoring in advance. We also understood the means of monitoring, that is keeping an eye on the conduct of the accounts, verifying the statements and reports such as stock and book debt statement, MSOD, QAS 1 and 2, half-yearly operating and fund flow statement, conducting regular or frequent inspections and obtaining market reports, etc. Subscribe to this channel to receive information on my new videos. Please note that subscribing to this channel is free. Press the like button and share the information with your friends and colleagues. In my next video series 101, we shall continue our discussion on monitoring of advance. Thank you all very much.